So, thank you for joining me today. I definitely wanted to learn more about your company, your process, and you yourself. What was the inspiration behind starting your brand?
Yeah. So, to start, man, I've always had to credit it back to my faith because it was such a left field 3 a.m. idea that just kind of popped in my head. And just naturally being a creative, always trying to find different things to do, whether it's the arts, fashion, music, film, etc. My brain started working, literally 3
Yeah,
a.m. Idea pops in my head, and I'm like, cereal company. I'm like, all right, I don't know where this came from, but I'm literally laying in bed thinking about it. My mind kind of drifts off, and it kind of catches back, and I'm like, Google black-owned cereal company, just kind of thinking
yeah,
like, all right, whatever. If it's here, it's here. If not, I'm going back to sleep.
for sure.
So that's kind of where my thought process went, and it was almost like a search not found. When googling like black-owned cereal company. So I was wide awake at that point. It was, from there it was like go time. That's just kind of like the way my brain works. It's like, I realized there was definitely an opportunity to kind of create something on my own and really make an impact. So, from there, I just kept putting in work, man. Fast forward 5 months later, here we are now.
I love those businesses that are able to find like that hole in the system because there's always that opportunity to
Right.
kind of lurk and search. My mind works the same way. I'm up at like 4 a.m. just researching, trying to find out what's new and what's not there, try to find a way to fill that.
Yeah.
How
Yes,
has the
sir.
journey been so far
Definitely.
for you when it comes to just the brand and building it itself? Have you run into any
Yeah.
challenges or pitfalls
I
with it?
mean, yeah, man, combination of both, man. To start, I'd say, man, very, very exciting to be in this space. All that has happened, the connections that I've made, the press, the following that I've amassed in a short period of time,
Yeah,
has been amazing. Really early on, we got called the cereal for the culture, which I snagged and said, yeah, we're gonna we're gonna keep
for
this
sure.
one. You know,
I like that one.
yeah, I like the way it feels. It kind of exemplifies everything that I really want to kind of build out Proud Puffs to really be. So from there, man, definitely some amazing moments. Obviously, like all the press that's been built, but some of the organic stuff. Talking to kids in Brooklyn doing a career day there. And their eyes kind of lighting up like I was, LeBron or something that just kind of popped in on Zoom, and I'm thinking, I'm like, I remember telling my sister because she's a principal at the school, I
Yeah,
was like, they gonna boo me. I'm gonna get booed. I'm the cereal guy. Like, who cares? Like, who wants who wants to see a cereal guy? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I didn't think of it as being exciting, but as I'm kind of like breaking it down to them and I'm showing them the box, and they're like, "You make cereal?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "That's crazy. Like, what does it taste like?" And they were asking questions. So that's definitely probably been like one of the most like fulfilling moments because that kind of really told me that there's a bigger purpose outside of just making cereal, if that makes sense.
Oh no, definitely. Especially the representation in itself. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure the kids have never seen anything like that before. So having you as a
right,
figure be able to take the time out just to talk to them, I mean,
definitely. It's a combination of that and just you can see the images on my wall, so they can see it, and they were looking like, oh, what I mean, like it's like, is that Nipsey, is that Rick Ross? And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, wow, that's what you listen to, and I'm like, I'm you, like I might be
yeah.
a little old, but we're the same. I just I got this amazing idea and really wanted to create something for the culture. So Proud Puffs Legacy Cereal Company, man, I like to pride ourselves in saying we're the disruptors of a old industry. Most of these cereal brands are over 100 years old, and single
Yes.
format, not a lot built, no excitement. I'm a millennial, and I have a lot of people that I deal with, and collectively is Gen Zs, and I mean, our brains are naturally wired different, so a lot of our thoughts and ideologies is different. So I'm excited to kind of shake up the industry. I can see people noticing that I'm trying to make waves, and that's where, as you mentioned before, the pitfalls and the trials and tribulations are coming in, because there's a lot of people that aren't ready for to see Black representation, one, and to hear that be such a ongoing conversation, especially on a national level.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
There's something about being at first as well. So
yeah,
as my midway through icebreaker question, because this is so historic, I'm sure there'll be a story told about you at some
I'll take
point.
that.
Who would you who would be your ideal person to play you in a film?
That is that is such a good one. I'm gonna think about that, man. My son unfortunately is a couple of shades lighter than me. Otherwise, I pick him automatically. Man, but I think anybody that can kind of capture the story. I've said early
Yeah,
on, I actually started documenting the whole process from literally the night of inception of the idea till now. Anytime I'm about to do something
that's
or
important.
I get a call, I'm hitting the camera button automatically. So there is a documentary, coming at some point. But I want to build this out first. Obviously, make sure it has
For
legs.
sure.
We get ourselves positioned the right way.
There's something about that journey, people to kind of see where it started and what it becomes. I think just in that, people can invest in the story, and it's just gonna make the brand just that much bigger. So I
Yeah,
think that's definitely great that you're doing that.
definitely.
When have we already started? I know there was the pre-sale that you were doing, taking the orders early.
Yep.
Has there already been a launch of when it's going to be sold, or did you have the locations down
So the original
in that
idea,
aspect?
yeah, no, the original idea, and this is the trials and tribulations. Yeah,
Hmm.
our goal was originally through our crowdfunding platform to start after April 1st, officially start shipping out the second week of
Okay.
April. That was goal. We had it set in mind. Conversations were already in play. This was the focal point. And then we started hitting snags, man. Really, we've been pounding the pavement, really trying to lock in manufacturing. We had conversations early on, asking the normal questions. Hey, this is what we're looking for. We're a startup company, X, Y, and Z. But what we're also looking for is the shape of the cereal. If you see the shape of the cereal, it's an
Yeah.
empowerment fist. And we asked early on, not without going super far in details, like, can you guys create
Hmm.
shapes? And the answer was yes, we can create shapes, no problem. Until I sent them the shape, and then it was like, ooh, a little too complex. And we're like, oh, this is complex. So you got stars and moons and dinosaurs, but the shape of an empowerment fist is complex, and that's where things got really frustrating. And then it transferred from that to, well, but we're also pretty much booked up until maybe October, and
Mm.
we just started
Okay.
finding, yeah, we started finding an ongoing trend, unfortunately, where everyone's saying, like, as soon as we sent them the shape, it's too complex. So that's the challenge we're
Are
currently
you
fighting.
working now? Are you working now with? Is it like a commercial kitchen, or do you have like a co-packer that kind of goes through and
We
creates the
have to
cereal?
go. Yeah, we have to go co-manufacturer, co-packer. Where
Okay.
as of right now, pre-orders are way too big to try to do it out of a commercial kitchen and only growing. And in order to ensure consistent quality, especially when making an extruded cereal that's puffed, we have to do a co-manufacturing company. So, we can be as revolutionary as we want and disruptive, but unfortunately, as of right now, we have to work inside the machine, and that's the probably the most difficult part for sure. Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine. You start in the machine, but eventually you you can grow to take it over. So I mean,
Boom. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
always the plan for
I'm gonna
sure.
stay quiet on that one. All I'm gonna say is, boom, there it is, definitely.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go. You definitely got my order because
appreciate
the rest representation. I've got a son, 6 years old, loves
it.
cereal. This is what we're gonna be having for sure. So you got a follower in me.
Appreciate
Love
it.
that.
Definitely, thank you.
No problem at all. So what's next step in your journey from here?
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited, just really, really kind of visioning out where we're going. Today's
Hmm.
Saturday, and there's no days off for us. The company is building. I pulled in an assistant that's amazing. She alone has been really focusing on the customer service, and she's like, listen, we have X amount of people that that have already placed orders. We're gonna call them directly and let them know, like, hey, we appreciate you. There's a delay. We're gonna build that out. So we're pulling in extra hands, because I was literally doing this by myself for the first 3 to 4 months. Literally doing the marketing side, doing graphics, interviews, PR, etc. That's kind of how it's been built
Yes.
out. So, building that team and that infrastructure is exciting, but also going into the other phases of the business as far as addressing food deserts, which is our corporate initiatives, addressing food deserts in low-income communities and really kind of building that space out. So I'm excited to do that as well, but also excited futurely to start showcasing some of our next products. We got some outside of Proud Puffs, we got a couple more that I'm excited about. Once we kind of get legs and lock into manufacturing companies, we got more coming for sure.
Man, I love it. The revolutionary side of things is perfect. For the design, logo, box, and everything like that, is that something you personally came up with? Do you have somebody on your team that kind of handles that end of things?
Yeah, no, this is all out of my brain. I wanted to showcase the why. Every time I see them box, I was like, all right, you know what? One, I had to think of a name of the company, and I was like, what can the name of the company be? And then I was like, King cereal didn't sound great, so I was like, I can't use my last name. And I really started thinking like, why am I doing it? And then that's where Legacy Cereal came in. And then the box is, like I said, it's multi-layered. It's one showing Black representation, but also my why, which is my family. So, putting my family on the box, my legacy, my son, my sisters, my nieces, my nephews, like they're really the ones up next. Those you know what I mean? Like that part of my legacy is really
Yes,
we build
for
up
sure.
and these kids, especially being Gen Z and whatever else is after Gen Z, like they're revolutionary all in themselves. So, they're definitely going to help take this to the next level. So I'm excited about that too.
For sure. I mean, as soon as they got internet access, which
Yeah,
everybody's
that was
online
it.
right now,
Yeah,
the whole world changed.
that was it. But they're giving
Oh
me
man.
different insights into things that I may not potentially see. So when we're referencing older brands, that have been around for a while, they're not getting that type of insight, or I don't know if they're not paying attention to it, but they're used to an old mold and old model. With Legacy Cereal Company, again, rebellious, new, revolutionary. Really taking these new creative ideas and really incorporating it into the brand and making sure that's the foundation of it.
Man, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
From the first time I saw the cereal box, I'm not sure how into like the NFT space you are yet,
I'm trying to.
but I'm thinking like your first box, if you just take that picture, like
I'm working on it, man. I'm glad you said that. I'm like, I gotta figure out how to get in there. But it's on my vision board. When I get some free
yeah,
time, I gotta dive into NFT. Again, man, it's such an amazing thing. I've talked to a couple of tech guys that are Black in tech, which is amazing, which is a whole nother conversation.
that's important.
They're
Yes.
like, oh man, listen, you got to take that box and you got to put some tech in there. You know what I mean? Like you make sure you use different pieces to, so many moving parts, and I can't go too
Yeah.
far, but some exciting stuff, man. And that more and more, as I say, representation. That pulls out different sides of, what I mean? Like when I say representation, not just Black representation alone, Black in tech, Black in design, Black in creation, Black formulation. My trademark attorney was a Black woman. Like so many different pieces of intentionalities is really the foundation of Legacy Cereal Company and what Proud Plus is now.
That's fantastic to hear. So I had the NFTs, and the second thing I thought of was I'm not sure if you were familiar with like the AR codes. So
Um,
the AR is kind of it's a smaller end of like next level. So it's kind of like a hologram in a way. So you can like have the photo of your box. You can pick your character, and then once you scan it, I'm not sure if you ever heard of like the Pokemon Go thing. How
yes,
you were kind of able to see it, but it wasn't there.
yes.
It's exactly like that. Yeah. So I mean, like Nipsey is a big inspiration for me too.
Yeah,
He had like a CTO, the chief technology officer. So
yeah.
once I figured that part out, then that just inspired me to like dig as much into tech too. Those are the two ideas that popped into my head, which totally yours. I would love to see it if it's implemented for
Yeah,
sure.
no, all the above, man. I can't wait till we officially kind of have that full structure in play, so I can kind of
Yeah,
tap out the business a little bit and really get into the creative side, because that's my bag. That's the thing that excites me the most. So we got a lot going. We got some coloring books that are coming out for the kids. We got some animation that's coming out for the kids as well. So we got some really, really exciting things coming up for sure.
Well, I definitely want to thank you for sitting down with me today. I had a fantastic conversation with you, just learning about the business in itself. And this is definitely a message because Paradox Vision, we're all about like telling stories, and especially our stories because I feel it's important. So anytime we can find that representation, which is embodied within Legacy Cereal, so that's definitely why I wanted to reach out to you, tap in, just kind of get that information. I definitely appreciate you giving me the time today.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. We got to do this again once you get your box of Proud Puffs. You know what I mean? We can have a whole nother conversation.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely around that time.